Okay, hello and welcome to the Football Fanatic Podcast, the podcast where we talk about everything related to football. I'm your host, Taufik, and today I have two special guests with me. They are Apianus and Aswari, who are also football fans and friend of mine. Say hi, guys.
Hi everyone, I'm a Presidente. I'm a half hooks, a fan of Barcelona and Lionel Messi.
And I'm Aswari, and I'm the hard fans of Real Madrid and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Thank you for joining me today. Apianus and Aswari. In this episode, we are going to talk about the best football player of all time, a topic that always sparks a lot of controversy and debate among football lovers. We're going to share our opinion, argument, and criteria on how to rank the greatest player in history, whether you agree or disagree with us. We hope you enjoy this episode and find it interesting, so stay tuned and let's get started. So let's start with the most obvious question. Who do you think is the best football player of all time? Aprianus.
For me, there is no doubt that the best football player of all the time is Lionel Messi. He is simply a genius, a magician, a phenomenon. He has everything: skill, speed, vision, creativity, goal, assist, trophies, record. He is the most complete and consistent player I have ever seen. Him make football look easy and beautiful.
Oh, come on, Aprianus. You are just beside because you are Barcelona fans. Messi is not the best player of all time. He is not even the best player of his generation. The best player of all time is Cristiano Ronaldo. He is match a best, a legend. He has matched everything: power, stamina, technique, leadership, charisma, goals, assist, trophy, record. He is the most versatile and adaptable player I have ever seen. He makes football look hard and heroic.
Wow, you guys have very strong opinion. I can see that you're both very passionate about your favorite player. But there are other players besides Messi and Ronaldo who deserve to be considered as the best of all time. What about Pele, Maradona, Cruyff, Zidane, or Ronaldo Nazario? Don't you think they have a place in this discussion?
Of course, they are a great player who have made history and left a legacy in football. But I think they are not at the same level as Messi. Messi has surpassed them all in terms of statistic, assessment, and influence. He has played in the most competitive and demanding era of football, and he has dominated it for more than a decade. He has won more individual and collective awards than anyone else, and he has broken more records than anyone else. He has inspired millions of people around the world with his style and personality. He is the gold, the greatest of the time.
Well, of course, they are a great player who have marked an era and changed the game of football. But I think they are not at the same level as Ronaldo. Ronaldo has overcome teams all in terms of challenge, diversity, and impact. He has played in different different languages and teams, and he has conquered time all. He has won more titles and trophies than anyone else, and he has scored more goals than anyone else. He has motivated millions of people around the world with his work ethics and ambitions. He is the God, the greatest of all time.
I see. You both have very convincing argument, but you also have a very different criteria in how to measure the greatest of a player. How do you indicate what factor are more important than other? How do you incorporate player from different times, context, and position? How do you balance the individual and the collective aspect of football?
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, for me, the most important factor are the quality, the consistency, and the creativity of a player. I think the a greatest player is someone who can play with elegance, intelligence, and player. Someone who can create something out of nothing, who can surprise and delight the fans, who can make a difference in any situation, someone who can maintain a high level of performance for a long period of time, who can cope with the pressure and the expectation, who can evolve and improve with age. That's why I think Messi is the best because he has all these qualities and more. How about you, Aswari?
Well, for me, the most important factor are the efficiency, the facility, and the charisma of a player. I think a great player is someone who can play with power, passion, and determination. Someone who can score goal in any way, who can let and inspire the team, who can make an impact in any competition, someone who can adapt to different environments, who can face different changes, who can overcome adversity and criticism. That's why I think Ronaldo is the best because he has all this factor and more.
Okay. Interesting. You would have very valid point, but you also have very different perspective on what makes a great player. I guess there is no definitive answer to this question as it depends on personal preferences, tastes, and emotion. Football is all subjective and complex sport, and that's what makes it so fascinating and enjoyable. There are many players who have been are amazing, and we should appreciate it and respect them all. Okay, well, thank you, Aprenus and Aswari, for sharing your opinions and arguments on the best football player of all time. I'm sure our listeners have learned a lot from you today.
Thank you, Taufik, for having us on your podcast. It was a pleasure to talk to you and your listeners.
Thank you, Topik, for inviting us to your podcast. It was a best to chat with you and your listener.
Okay, you're welcome. And thank you, listener, for tuning into this episode on the Football Fanatic Podcast. I hope you enjoy it and found it interesting. If you did, please subscribe, rate, review, and share our podcast with your friend. And don't forget to follow us on social media and join our online community where you can share your thoughts and opinions on the best football player of all time. Before we go, I have a question for you. Who do you think is the best football player of all time? Do you agree with Apianos, Aswari, or neither? Let us know by leaving a comment on our website, sending us an email, or tweeting us with the hashtag football fanatic. We love to hear from you and feature your feedback on our next episode. That's all for today. Thank you for listening and see you next time on the Football Fanatic podcast. Bye bye.
See you.